Let's hear it. Big round of applause and a big welcome to Mr. Paul Hartnoll. Wicked. Yes, so you are back.
Yeah.
Which is great. You guys are back together. So talking about working with your brother a little bit, how does it work in the studio when you guys are in there? Yeah.
And with me and my brother, I mean, I tend to be the main writer. I go to work 9 to 5. I can't stop myself. If you give me a day off, I'll do some music. It's an obsession for me. I found it could be anyone, but when you've got another voice in the room, it does tend to propel things along quicker. I think one of the biggest skills of any producer or songwriter is finishing, knowing when to stop. That's that's the skill I see lacking in certain friends and people that I've known that take 5 years to write an album. No one should take 5 years to write an album. You don't need to take. You can have 5 years off and then write an album quickly. Don't get me wrong, but it's a snapshot in time. An album.
Absolutely.
Go with it. Don't worry about it, and it's probably be fresher to everyone anyway.
We've got to ask, how did the light glasses come about then for you guys as well?
Because we couldn't see anything. Because if
you
you try and look
that.
at the little screens of an R8 drum machine, it's monstrous. And they came about because this DJ called Lex, he showed us a pair. He said, I got these in New York when I was touring with the Shaman. They're brilliant. You can bend down and see your records and everything. It's great. Didn't think much about it, and then we went on our first tour with Meat Beat Manifesto, supporting them around America, and we got to New York, bought a few pairs, started wearing them, and it was like putting your Batman mask on. Do you know what I mean? It's that you don the mask and become someone else, and it was like, great, I've got a costume.
Yes. Yeah. What's your approach now to playing live? I've got a picture there. I'm not quite sure where that show's from, and how's that changed from how you used to do it?
It's pretty much remains the same. I mean, originally it was a case of I took everything that I had at home apart, set it up somewhere, and just jammed, with the sequencers, whether you were using sequences inside the drum machines and sequencers themselves, or, like I had an MMT8 at the time. They were the original. That's the original way of doing it. It's basically, I'm not a keyboard player as such, so I'm not going to play any keyboards. I do electronics, kind of sequence-based music. It's not about playing really, it's that sort of rhythmic throb, but for me the ability to stand there and watch an audience and play with them and develop a song to suit their needs, and as long as you pick what you take intelligently so that you can cover all the bases, this one can do that sound on that song and this one's going to be great for that, you can grab them both at the same time. I was being a bit too purist sometimes there, where you think, I've got to take that synth because that's the synth that did that song. When you go out live, it can be, well, no, this synth is doing that song tonight because it's going to be slightly different. And that's good fun. It makes you play it in a different way.
Yeah, right. We had a student email me, actually, third year, Tim Burns, and he's asked, what one piece of gear revolutionised your workflow?
The single most important bit of kit, because I can remember being jealous in the 90s that people like Noel Gallagher and that could sit on a tour bus and write their next album just with a guitar. It's just revolutionised that. It's even smaller than an acoustic guitar. Brilliant. Who knew that was going to happen?
Yeah.
No time is wasted on a journey for me when I'm sort of, on a working day. I take it with me on the train, always knocking stuff up.
With something like Peaky Blinders, how much freedom are you given? How does it work? Are you given the scene and then you have a bit of space, you have a bit of freedom or does the director give you an idea of what they want? How does it work?
They put their favourite sort of temp score, so they give it something that they think it should be. And of course they use loads of Oscar-winning, big budget Hollywood music. Then they give you a tiny budget and say, can you do something like that? It actually is quite useful because a piece of music gives you a much better idea of what you need to do. The more you work with the director, the more you understand their language. You've got to kind of get into their headspace. You're given this much space to work, and it's brilliant, because it makes you do something you would never do.
We're trying to set students up for when they enter that industry, they're able to work across as many and be as versatile as they can. You got any tips or anything, any bit of advice you can give to everyone?
Say yes to everything. Do everything. Even if you think you can't do it, give it a try. Even if you say to someone, I don't normally do this, but I'll give it a go. Be honest, but, not too honest necessarily. But I think just try your hand at everything because you might find something that you love that you didn't know. Flex your muscles. What's this going to turn out like? It's a great way of teaching yourself new skills, just trying everything.
Thank you
Cheers,
so
so
much
did I.
for giving us time today. Can we just give a Bimm round of applause? Thank you very much.
Cheers, thanks.
He made a really good point about composing on software stuff, so using the tools you have to come up with something quickly, and then once you're happy with it, print it down on a real synth. Because I work with a lot of hardware like he does, and just turning it into something more tangible afterwards. I think that's a really good idea.